Hello, my mystical marshmallows. This is your recording for the September 24th Eclipse and Equinox ritual. Thoroughly enjoyed doing it in group, but for those of you that didn't make it today, I would just like to give you a little 5-minute run through of how you can do this ritual for yourself at home. This ritual can be as easy or as complex as you want it to be. You can simply have a pen and a piece of paper, or you can download my drawing of a circle that is split in half along with portal doors. You can then get magazine scraps or writing pens, crayons, paints, however you want to sit and do this, and for however amount of time you've got to do this ritual in. So there is no right or wrong way. Set your space up with a favourite crystal or favourite candle. Make it as cozy and lovely as you can, because this ritual is about releasing all that we have no space for anymore. Releasing the worries, the shoulds, releasing the we perhaps ought to be doing this, or somebody else's opinions about how we should do something, or just bad habits. This is about stepping into the autumn equinox and going forward with how we are going to honour ourselves in this season particularly. To start with, you're going to want to draw a circle on your page and split it down the middle. Now, I have done my page here and I will show you the finished results properly afterwards. So this is the circle and it is split down the middle with I am releasing and I am calling in. So we're going to start with the releasing side. So just for example, my releasing has been the need to control everything. I am a control freak and I feel best when I am in control, but you know what? Sometimes I just need to let things flow. And also I need to trust that I have done enough. Another thing I am trying to release and will be releasing is my fear for the future, especially for my children. I get caught up in societal expectations and what they should and shouldn't be doing, and I really want to release that worry and just allow my children to evolve in the best way possible with my guidance. So you can either write it down on paper like this, or you can scribble it, draw it, use pictures for representation. It really doesn't matter, however you feel. And in group, we took a good sort of 5-10 minutes to think about that. However, that was because we had, a time limit. So just take as long as it needs. Write it down and come back to it. Think about it throughout the day, or just dedicate a time and space where you've got quiet time so that you can do it. And then the same goes for the calling in. So what are we calling in for this season, for autumn? What would we like autumn to look like, and how would we like autumn to feel? Now for me, that is very much about looking after my knees, because I've got chronic pain, so I want to be warm and cozy, and I am going to allow myself to not make excuses about getting cozy in my own home. I'm allowed to get my comfy blanket and put it on my knees here at my desk, because my knees get cold, and that will then help me have a better day. Things that I have written on my calling inside, which is why I did the little heart arrows, is that I can ask for my needs to be met in an appropriate way as to who I'm asking. So obviously I'm going to ask it differently of Phoenix than I am of Harley or Norm or my mum. Other things I want to call in is more walks in nature. You can put anything you want to call in more of in this section. And another one of mine has actually been I actually started this the night before, doing more art journaling, because in the evenings they're getting darker earlier now, right? So we can sit down and watch something and maybe just doodle. Maybe that's more of an ADHD brain thing, but I like to do something whilst I'm watching. I can't just sit and watch. And then the third part is going to be either picking a doorway that I drew up and you can cut them out, or you just draw yourself a doorway, a portal, a magical gateway that is going to bridge the gap between what we're releasing and what we're calling in, and to visualize us stepping over that threshold into a more aligned autumn that feels cozy and safe and wonderful for ourselves. The other thing you can do is title your page if you feel called to. So I actually titled mine Through the Shadow into the Wild, because sometimes it feels naughty to look after myself and to do what I want to do during autumn. There are going to be people that want to go out on walks. We had a great chat about this in the Wild Portal, about how some people want to go out on walks and stomp around, and then there's others, like some of us, who just want to stay at home and be warm. I'm one of those. You know, yes, I want to go out into nature, but I'm going to do it on my terms, on the days where it feels best for my knees, and I'm not going to force anybody else to do it. If I want to do it, I will find a way to do it by myself if necessary. And as we were wrapping up the Wild Portal, one of our lovely ladies, I'm sure she won't mind me saying it, but I want to give her the credit for this, Charlie, suggested that if you've done it on a piece of paper, you actually take it and bury it like a seed to be planted in your garden. Maybe stick a crystal over it or a treasured little rock and bury it and set those intentions in. Or, like me, I'm just going to look at it. I've had it out on display for a little bit. I'm going to keep it overnight and for the next couple of days, probably over the weekend, so that I can remind myself visually what I'm intending and how I'd like it to look. Now remember, it's allowed to be messy, it's not going to be perfect, and life is going to happen. But if you can take the moment to come back to what your intentions were and maybe just integrate little bits of pure joy and coziness and speaking up for yourself, or whatever it is that you want to do with this season, bring it in little bit by little bit, because those tiny little steps make up you climbing a mountain, quite frankly. So do come into group and drop any pictures if you'd like to. You don't have to, but we'd love to hear how you're getting on and perhaps what sort of things you came up with. We all definitely came up with cosy things today, which is lovely. We're all definitely feeling the weather change. I hope that you are well. I'd love to see you in group or WhatsApp, but even if you are just on the outskirts and just watching, checking in with emails and videos, thank you so much to every one of you for being here. It's an absolute pleasure to hold this space with you. See you next time. Bye.